Hiya folks, this episode was meant to come out last week, but I messed up and you got the Psylocke report again instead, so apologies for that. But we do make a couple of references to the fact that me and Conor are about to go and leave on a little trip. That trip has since happened. We had a lovely time, but this episode is still really fun. We really enjoyed it, we're really proud of it, so we're going to put it out, and please enjoy. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. My name is Sean Meehan, and joining me as always is my very best pal, Mr. Conor Lawler.
Hi Sean, happy to be here. Excited to go to London with you in a few hours.
Oh yeah. Oh, can you pick me up? Actually,
I can indeed pick you up. Yes.
Thank you. I'd really appreciate that.
This is Hero Zero. This is the show where we choose one comic book character every single week. We talk to good points and their bad points, and we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. Now, I normally choose DC characters. Sean normally does Marvel characters. So,
true.
I mean, last week I didn't do Batman or Superman or the Joker or Lex Luthor. I did the Heckler, everyone's favourite DC character.
I did someone worse.
Someone much worse. So if you want to check that out, that's last week's episode. Or, I mean, we've got hundreds of these episodes. If you got a favourite character, you can go back and check that. But Sean, it is your week. And that means it's going to be a Marvel character that's probably about the same level of quality as the Heckler.
Well, Conor, this character is quite cool. It was actually a request from one of our patrons, Frost. She sent it in because I'm going to be covering Azazel.
Oh, so
now,
by the way, before we get into this, if this is your first episode, you don't have to do anything. Just chill out. Second or above, we'd really appreciate 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share. Just any way you want to support the show would be absolutely legendary. We also have a Patreon down below. As Sean said, this was recommended by one of the patrons. So patrons are always sending us messages of things, characters we could do, movies we could review. So if you want to get
a big list that we're working through.
It's a big list we're getting through, but yeah. So if you want to get instant access to that, like, link is down below. It's the price of one coffee a month, and you get access to loads of other extra movies and extra content and VIP stuff. You know how it is, exclusive stuff.
It's a fun time.
It's a fun time. But Sean, it's time for a report. It's time to hear Azazel, as far as I know, is X-Men First Class guy who is Nightcrawler's father. Or isn't his father?
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Nightcrawler is his biological son.
Right, okay.
So we'll get into it. Azazel claims to be one of the oldest mutants. He's part of a group of demonic-looking mutants called the Neafem.
He looks like a devil.
He looks like a devil. Red skin, little horns, beard, and a tail. Basically, he's just a bad guy, and he looks like a bad guy. He once claimed that he battled Mephisto for the title of Satan. So Mephisto is Marvel's devil. Azazel says, "Oh, it could have been me, but we had a fight and he won."
I like how you're just like introducing all this stuff. They're like, look, Mephisto is Marvel's devil. Don't worry about it. He doesn't really appear in this, but Marvel has a devil. So
there is another group of mutants with angelic appearances named the Cherifim.
Sorry, what?
A Cherifim. It's like seraphim. It's like biblical.
Sounding almost like chair. I got scared.
The Cherifim. Oh my god. So Angel, the X-Men, he's one of them. So Mephisto, or fucking hell, Azazel.
Sorry, are we talking about Chair, Azazel, or Mephisto?
We're talking about Azazel. We're talking about Azazel.
He's stressed already. 3 minutes in.
3 sentences in. Azazel and his crew were basically banished to a place called the Brimstone Dimension. Another interpretation of hell, basically.
This is so good. So good so far. Imagine this is somebody's first episode.
See, the thing about this is there's a lot of buy-in and it's mostly fine from there.
Okay, so the buy-in is that he grew up in a hell dimension and he looks like a devil.
Brimstone Dimension, yeah, that's where the teleporty powers come from that Nightcrawler has. All there. Azazel is the only one who is able to breach the wall between the Brimstone Dimension and Earth because he's able to teleport. That's a mutant power that he has. As his children were linked to his dimension, if he impregnated an Earth woman, he then had a permanent link between it, so he could now remain in Earth for longer periods of time, because he would technically still be connected to the Brimstone dimension. So Azazel began mating with women who had strange appearances, namely Mystique, who he met in Germany.
He just started having sex with everybody.
Anything that moved.
Cool.
He met Mystique in Germany when she was married to a rich castle lord named Baron Christian Wagner, which was slightly covered in the Nightcrawler report that I did a little while ago. While Christian was unable to give Mystique children, Mystique was introduced to Azazel, whom Christian knew as a business partner. So Azazel was moving around
Does he
in
look
disguise.
like a big red devil at this point?
Does not. Looks like a regular man at this point.
Regular man.
Mystique had secretly been taking lovers to produce an heir for Count Wagner, and she fell in love with Azazel, though she was hesitant to betray Christian as she still loved him. However, she eventually gave in, and her and Azazel had a load of sex. Now, at the same time, Mystique's longtime lover Destiny was posing as Mystique's maidservant in the castle household.
I feel like we're getting back into the Nightcrawler confusion of Mystique and all the stuff that was going on. If you want to know more, go listen to the Nightcrawler report. But there's a lot of things are happening with Mystique at this point.
A lot of things are happening with Mystique. A lot of this is very recent additions to Mystique Azazel Nightcrawler lore. Destiny had told Mystique that she wanted to have children, but she also had a premonition, because Destiny can see vague visions of the future, also had a premonition that Azazel would destroy the mutant race unless stopped by a child that he believed was his own. You
see, okay, I think we need to get into the weeds of this, right? So, comic books come up with these characters that are cool. For example, Azazel, half devil guy, can teleport. Then you've got Nightcrawler, he's blue, can teleport. Then you have Mystique, who's also blue. So logically you'd be just like, right, look, Nightcrawler is the son of Mystique and Azazel. Simple, easy. But X-Men comic books are notorious for making something simple and then basically confusing it for no reason. Just like adding dimensions and adding different stories. And what happened maybe in the last 10 to 15 years with this story is that they added...
Oh, dude, it's in the last 6 months.
Oh, it's the last 6 months, my apologies. So what they do is they like throw in something, they're like, we should change it slightly and have like a bigger twist. So that Azazel isn't like his direct father, but like he isn't, and maybe Mystique is actually his dad, but also his mom.
And there's a big crowd of people who are angry about this for the wrong reasons. I don't like this because it's just confusing.
It's not about what the story is, but they do it for loads of characters. It's not just these characters. It's like you have a very simple backstory, and then a new writer comes in and goes, I really like that story. I'm going to add something. But when you add something, then you're like, that kind of knocks off this, which is technically part of the history as well. So then they have to rewrite something else to like make the other thing make sense. And then you just end up in a big hole.
That's it. You're continually moving things down the stream, just trying to repair what's been done. So Mystique is able to change herself at a genetic level. So she takes on Azazel's form and impregnates Destiny in an act of love. So that's what it means when Nightcrawler is biologically Azazel's son. Has all the same genetics, everything like that. It's basically the same as if Azazel was his dad, but now it's not the case.
So you ask yourself, if you just did the other storyline, what's the difference?
Again, it's for a twist. And honestly,
it's for the big twist.
On a macro scale, it's to generate news stories and sell comics.
Of course.
So, not much later, Destiny was pregnant with Nightcrawler. Soon afterward, Mystique killed Christian because he caught Mystique and Destiny together. Again, covered in the Nightcrawler report. Azazel was nowhere to be found. He had gone back to the Brimstone dimension at this point. Angry villagers found out about Christian's murder and came after her and the demonic-looking baby. In order to save her own life, she shape-shifted into one of the villagers and dropped Nightcrawler over the cliff, saying that she had pushed the woman off as well. With her life saved, she ran away. Mystique was the only woman that Azazel sought out after he came back. He actually enjoyed being in a relationship with her. It wasn't just like he wanted to have kids with her. He eventually went on to have...
all the other women. It was just for sex.
I was thinking about you the whole time.
I think you're actually sound.
You're my favourite. Yeah. So later, after Mystique was supposed dead, Azazel went on to father numerous other children. All of these other children were mysteriously called to gather and sacrifice themselves on an island known as the Isla de Demonas, to open a portal and bring his army to Earth, with the goal of destroying the normal mutants, he calls
I love that X-Men comic books. Always so confusing. Always just go that one extra step that you're like, didn't need to go here, but I respect the fact that you want to make it batshit.
Exactly, yeah. So his whole thing is like, he doesn't like the mutants that can hide their powers, that they have no sign of mutation. So like your Jean Greys and your Storms,
which is actually a really interesting story. Whenever like they bring that up with someone like him or Nightcrawler or Mystique or Beast or like any character that like has that physical aspect as well, and then you have like people like Charles Xavier, Magneto, and you're like, yeah, but you could hide it. Whereas they have to live it every day of people basically just like thinking that they're pieces of shit.
Exactly, yeah. Like they're outed basically.
Yeah.
Like as soon as someone sees them. Azazel wants to bring his army to destroy all the normal mutants. In addition to Nightcrawler, another son of Azazel's was a guy called Abyss, who lived on Genosha. And they all joined each other in a zombie-like state and opened the portal to the dimension. A group of X-Men followed Kurt to see where he was going and jumped into the portal once it had opened. Once inside, Azazel took great pleasure in toying with the team, making them believe he was actually Satan.
Just a bit of a romp. Just a little prank amongst friends.
Just likes to mess. I'm the actual devil, guys.
In my head, this reminds me of Mirror Master, which is a DC villain. In which he's a Flash villain, and basically his really, really cool power is that he can like jump into any reflective what's the word I'm looking for? Surface. Any reflective surface, and he can leap out of a different reflective surface. But then it was kind of revealed that every time he leaps into one, he goes into like a mirror dimension that has like every reflective surface in the world. So there's like billions of them. And he's so good because he knows the whole place off by heart, so he knows the one that he wants to get to. But that's what I'm thinking of, like when he teleports, they added in that dimension aspect, so he can teleport between dimensions, kind of.
Yeah, and it's a very similar thing, like with him and with Nightcrawler specifically. When Nightcrawler teleports, he goes into that dimension and exits at another point. But his body has like spider sense essentially, and just knows where to bring him. Yeah, that's what. Literally,
my brain immediately just went to Mirror Master because I'm like, it's a weird like when they teleport or when they disappear, and then you just have a comic book writer that comes in and is like, but where do they go? Because you could just say, oh, they teleport, but then you're like, well, where did they go? Because then you could have like a different place that we could send the heroes, and they could get fucked up at.
Exactly. Yeah, it's another place to just have a fight, basically. Eventually the X-Men defeated Azazel and his army and banished him to oblivion. The X-Men, including Nightcrawler, were able to escape along with two other children of Azazel, Abyss, who was previously mentioned, and Kiwi Black, who is his son, who is also Maori, and it's really cool, and he can channel like energy into his weapons. It's great. Cool. Azazel was eventually welcomed to the new mutant island of Krakoa, created by Xavier, Magneto, and Moira McTaggart. They were him, along with other various villainous mutants, were invited to join the nation in order to heal mutantdom and start over as a whole species together.
Seems nice, but why would you invite the devil-looking guy?
Yeah, he doesn't stay for long.
They're like, let's start afresh, right? We're all going to be nice, and we're all going to make sure that we come across well to the humans. Now, to bring mutant Hitler and his little army of demons.
Yeah. Kind of a tough look, I'll be honest.
Now, no doing things that are bad, Demon Hitler. Okay.
He was eventually, I didn't cover this story because it's only after coming out kind of, and it's a lot, but he was eventually ripped in half by a dragon, and that's
Great
where he
stuff.
is now. In terms of powers and abilities, he has advanced longevity, so he's a functionally immortal. He's able to psionically transport himself, his clothing, and an additional mass across interdimensional distances. He is the world's most powerful teleporter. So he can teleport himself, he can bring things, he can bring other people anywhere in the world that he wants to go.
And what makes him more or less powerful than Nightcrawler?
So Nightcrawler, limited by distance. I think it's a mile horizontally and 2 miles vertically or something like that Nightcrawler can move. But Nightcrawler also has to have been there before or know what the place looks like. Can be able to see it. Yeah, exactly. But Azazel can just go wherever. Which is actually so overpowered when you think about it, because there's a bit that I always think of, whenever there's a character with these powers, is that you just grab everyone and then just teleport into the sky and just let them go. Yeah, which is a great move. You just
teleport just before space and just release them.
Doesn't he do that in First Class?
He does that in First Class. And I was like, yeah, you would just do that to everybody. You could take out the whole team in seconds.
His power is so great that, because the part of the way he's able to teleport is that he can manipulate space-time. So, it doesn't take him as... he can compress time, so it doesn't take him as long to get somewhere as it would. His power is so great he is able to freeze people and objects in space-time.
Holy shit.
He can make time take longer to pass instead. For them. But he can just move around however he wants.
But then, how does he ever lose?
Oh, he still has other powers.
Go on.
He has the ability to generate bolts of paralysing energy. He can disguise his appearance through unknown means. He
wears a little moustache with glasses.
Yeah, he's got a newspaper with the eyes cut out of it.
Unknown means he has a joke shop nearby. The bastard.
So he has the ability to manipulate minds. He possesses a tail that allows him to grab onto objects. And magic. He's able to collect souls and offer protection for people that he sends to hell.
Sorry, this lad's collecting souls.
He's collecting souls. He just collects souls for the laugh.
Sure. What?
And he can do all kinds of spells and stuff like that as well. He's a master swordsman.
Yeah.
But he does have a code of ethics and honour. So he wants an honourable sword fight with you.
But is it only in the sword fight that he has the ethics and honour? Is it in any other fight he's willing to kick you in the balls, but the minute you pull out a sword?
Can't stress enough, he's the devil. He's not a good dude.
So he's doing mass genocide, and then the minute you pull out a fucking sword, he's like, alright, hang on here now. Let's fucking have a duel if we're going to do this properly. Come on.
You're desperately just trying to trick him into a duel.
Because imagine he's literally taking your soul, and as a last ditch effort you pull out a small blade and be I challenge you to a duel. You have to stop immediately and then challenge you.
He can refuse, I guess, but if he agrees to a duel, he'll uphold.
Well, you'll say, I'm going to question your honour if you do, because I slapped you with a glove as you were fucking hitting me with a lightning bolt there.
I think that'd be fairly shitty now if you were to kill me. Do you know?
Yeah, I think that'd be you'd be frowned upon. That's all I'm saying.
Highly disrespectful.
Now I know you've killed all my family and all of my friends in very dastardly ways and disguises.
You put their souls into little jars.
Took their souls, you lifted them up to space, you fucking let them go. But now I'm saying sword fight. That's all I'm saying.
In terms of weaknesses, himself and all of the other Neophim are negatively affected by the healing blood of the Sheriffim. So Angel's blood can kill him, cause their body to break down.
So the character of Angel, basically.
Well, there's 2 Sheriffim confirmed in Marvel Comics. One is Angel, and the other is Icarus. Not the one from Eternals, the actual mythical Icarus.
Marvel is so fucking silly.
It's so dumb.
It's so good that they have a devil, a different devil, Santa Claus, Icarus, and another Icarus.
Yeah,
and Hercules.
It's not great. And Hercules, and Athena, and like
and
all
Cuchulainn,
of these.
if you wanted.
Yeah. St. Patrick is there.
St. Patrick is about, like, anybody, any character, any legendary god or hero from any sort of mythic storyline in any country. He's probably sitting there somewhere. Him or her is just, they're just there.
Nightcrawler canonically died and went to heaven.
And he got dragged out of heaven and brought back.
Yeah, now he can never go back.
It's trying to get anybody into like comic books. I'm always like, do not start with X-Men. Do not say, because they're like, oh, I love the X-Men movies. I'm like, no. The X-Men comic books
not ready.
Are such a steep learning curve that you need to start off just on a really simple one.
Yeah, you could do if you want a good primer on X-Men. I would say either Jonathan Hickman's House of X, which is recent enough. There's still a lot of weird stuff going on there. Or God Loves, Man Kills, which is what X2 is kind of based around. Right. So those would be my X-Men recommendations. Azazel doesn't show up in them, but...
Watch First Class. He's quite good in that.
Quite good in First Class, yeah. And then listen to my Darwin report to listen to how they fucked up Darwin real bad.
I mean, yeah, Darwin is the guy that can survive anything and he dies.
Yeah. You know how you do.
You know how it is. It just so happens that he's the only black guy in the group. We gotta kill him.
Who?
Not a good look.
Not great.
I think that's a little short report for the Friday that's in it, Shaun.
Yeah, there's not a huge amount on Azazel. He's just kind of always in the background. He doesn't do too much. It's
Frost's fault, really, when we think about it.
That's true. If we Frost, fire, devil. No, there's not a whole lot of comparison there. Thanks for the suggestion, Frost. I really appreciate it.
I love when we're like, send in your suggestions, guys. We could really use them. And the someone sends in a suggestion, we're like, that's a bit shit. Like, what the fuck is that? Fuck's sake.
Why can't we talk about Batman or something?
No, please keep sending them in, because that is true though. Like sometimes characters get sent into us. Like I get Arm Fall Off Boy all the time that gets sent into it, right? And
Dog Welder.
And Dog Welder as well. And the thing is, those characters are funny, but there's like one paragraph. They've appeared in like 2 stories.
I want to do it one time that we just do the 1 paragraph specials. It's just like, hey, here's this weird character that exists, and we just laugh.
We can do like a back and forth. You're like, oh, you think that's good?
Wait, yeah, like I one up you.
Yeah. So if you like the show, as I said, we've got hundreds of other characters that we've done. We cover all DC, all of Marvel. We've probably done a character you like. If we haven't, do send it in to us though, because we will do it.
We're not going to laugh at you.
Yeah, we won't laugh, we promise. As I said, you can give us a like, a follow, a share, and that's about it, Shaun. Otherwise, that just tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please. Now, Conor, please, we have to go to London.
We have to get a flight, quick.
It's not a bit, we're actually doing this.
No, we actually are, it's just the truth. We'll see you all on Monday, it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun Meighan.
I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.